So good afternoon. Thank you for meeting with us today. I know it was short notice and I know you are very busy. So thank you so much for your time. If you don't mind, can you introduce yourself to us, please?
I'm Jeff Long. I'm the Chief Human Resource Officer for Richland School District 1.
Perfect.
Thank you, Dr. Long.
I'm Anna McDowell. I'm a third grade teacher at Meadowfield Elementary.
And
All
I'm
right.
Michelle Floyd. I'm a fifth grade teacher at Greenview Elementary.
Okay.
So we do not want to prolong you. So we're going to go ahead and start with our first question.
Uh-huh.
What are some of the factors that are taken into consideration when it comes to recruiting for the district?
With everything, really. What the vacancies are, what kind of person is going to be a good fit or right fit, what the certifications are that's needed for that position, the specific schools, because all schools got their own personalities. So matching the right person with the right school or the right department. And if the person is suitable, have the experiences necessary when we're talking about departments, because you're asking about the whole district. So if we talk about different departments, do they have the right experiences to be able to be hired for that department? And same thing for the school. They have the right experiences, meaning they've done their student teaching, they're certified, they've got some experience as a teacher. If we're going to place them in a classroom, especially some of the classes that that some classes require more experience than others. I'll just leave it at that.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that response.
Uh-huh.
And our next question is, how does R1 go about recruiting international teachers?
We normally our positions are posted, and normally we've gone through an international kind of placement agency, and that they tell us who they have as certified teachers. Principals and HR representatives get an opportunity to go through and interview those people, and then we select from the pool for who they have. Lately, we've been having people who have been on J1s, they're coming off J1s, or some people who are H1B teachers who would apply directly to us and say, I'm working in this district and I want to get to Richland 1. What do I need to do for the sponsorship? Do you all sponsor teachers, what have you? So we'll let them know, yes, we do sponsorships, and what they have to do, what the process is for them to get into the district and getting sponsorship.
Thank you, Dr. Long. And our third question, is there currently a program with the Richland 1 that recruits retirees?
Oh yes, we do. We go after retirees just like we do our regular teachers. Positions are posted, and for retirees interested, they apply. And then the people who we have as people who are working as teachers and they're planning to retire at the end of their 28 years or however many years they work, we contact them too to see, are you willing to come back to work? And then we'll do an assurance so that they won't face that $10,000 cap. If you recall, some years ago, teachers and all state employees were placed on a $10,000 cap if they didn't retire before like 2012 or something, whatever it was. They retired before that, then they get subject to the $10,000 cap. So retirees are very, very valuable for us to come back to work.
All right, thank you. And our fourth question is, due to teacher shortage, what strategies have you found to be most effective in retaining the ones that have been in Richland 1 for at least more than 2 years?
I think that is different for different people, but I think that it's the school, they're in the right placement in the right school, getting the right support with a family type feeling in the school, they'll stay. And people always say about money, pay teachers. Yeah, we got to pay teachers, because what they're worth, and we don't do that across the state. But we need to pay teachers more. But I think that they're being in a good climated school and getting support from the administration and from other teachers even. I think that's the thing that lands teachers and keep teachers in our district.
Yes, I agree with that.
I agree as well.
Yes.
All right. Next question is, how do alternative teaching programs help with teacher shortage?
They are help to provide some to fill some of those vacancies. When we talk about alternative programs, some like Carolina CAP
Like,
and PACE,
mhm.
those kind of, okay, yes,
Yes.
they
Yes,
help
sir.
provide, and we have one ourselves, Project Rise, so they do help
Right. Yep.
to fill some of the vacancies that we wouldn't normally have filled.
Mhm.
Because everybody hadn't gone through the traditional route of going through college for 4 years, doing the student teaching, and then coming out and getting a position as a teacher. Some years ago, that was the route that everybody went, and we had an abundance of teachers when people were going into the field. But now that we've gotten into the shortage area, and we don't have people through colleges and universities are not turning the teachers out that like we would like, they're far fewer than what we need, as a matter of fact. Then those alternative teaching programs are assisting.
Mhm. So within those alternative teaching programs, like our program, Project Rise, do they have to be certified before they come into the classroom, or is it
No,
something that they can work towards?
that's what they work toward. That we work with them to get them certified. And most of them, the only problem is they haven't passed the praxis. They're having difficulty with that praxis. So we work with them, tutoring, giving them whatever assistance we need to do. We even hire someone from outside to a program from outside to work with, so they can work with to get their skills developed, so they can take that praxis and pass it.
Okay. Um, what is our next question? What is the most important thing to consider when recruiting new teachers?
Gosh, I don't know if it's a most important thing. I think there's a few things, but it's kind of like what I said in one of the earlier questions. The what the need is, what the district needs, and what that teacher can provide for the district, and what that teacher needs also.
Mhm.
And I guess the long and short is the fit for the location where we're planning to place the teacher, and the fit for Richland School District 1. Because we have some schools that takes a special kind of teacher to be in. And one of the things I love to say is that I worked in a middle school for some years, served as an administrator in the middle school for some years, and everybody can't work in the middle school. So you wouldn't take someone who's strictly early childhood, although they have middle school certification, and place them in a middle school. They're going to drown. So you don't do that. In spite of the fact, even if they have the certification, you just don't place them there. You place them in an appropriate setting, an appropriate assignment, so that they can be successful.
Thank you. So what strategies are used to make sure that job postings are reaching the right candidates or reaching the public in general?
We post all of our positions on our district website, and that's the thing that's going now. All districts do that. With that, they go to a national, I've forgotten what it is, jobseekers.com or something. I've forgotten what the name of the place is, but it goes to that. If we have some really hard to fill, like administrative positions, we'll post them on the SCASA website too, because administrators go to SCASA, that website. And so we'll post them there, but it's expensive to do that. For the school district, is free. We have positions we'll post on Indeed. Sometimes we'll post a position on LinkedIn. So we use whatever means necessary. You remember years ago, people were going by the Sunday paper, because they would
Right.
have, and you all might not remember that, you're probably too young for that, but you would buy the Sunday paper, and all the job classifications and positions will be posted in the Sunday paper. So, but that's kind of gone away because it got expensive, and people don't bother with the newspaper anymore. They use their cell phones or computers to get all the information they want nowadays. So we use our computer for that too, our own internet.
Yes, sir. And then can you tell us your experience with developing and implementing recruitment processes?
We do a recruitment plan. When we've done it, this is not the first district I worked in as an HR officer, and we've developed recruitment plans, and which entails incentives that we're going to offer, incentives for recruitment and for retention, and some of the practices or strategies we're going to use to try to recruit folks. I mean, we're going to go to colleges and universities to recruit. We're going to have our recruitment fairs, and when we're going to have those, and which ones we're going to have. We're going to have a teacher recruitment fair at this time of the year. Then we're going to have a classified recruitment fair at another time of the year, or we're going to have them together, and what locations we're going to have them, those kinds of things. So all those things play a big part in your recruitment processes, and being able to implement a good recruitment plan for any school district.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How do you handle difficult conversations with potential candidates who don't meet the requirements for a position?
Like what kind of difficult conversations you mean?
So how will you tell them without telling them that they don't meet the requirements for, say, for instance, to be an administrator?
Well, I'm kind of direct now, so I'll
Mhm.
tell you that. And so I have to be very careful with that. But for the most part, to make sure that people don't understand, don't misunderstand,
Mhm.
it is almost that. Well, that's you. This position requires that you have a master's degree and at least 5 years of experience in as a school assistant principal before you can serve as a school principal. Do you have this with somebody who has a bachelor's degree? Is that, do you have a master's that's not showing up on your resume or something? Do you need to update your resume? No, all I have is a bachelor's degree. That's okay. Well, then you wouldn't qualify for this position. That kind of conversation.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
But it's, but it's usually good whenever if you're going to have to have a difficult conversation, to have a difficult conversation in person.
Okay.
Instead of you wouldn't send that just send that to someone on an email, because it seems to be a little bit cold sometimes with emails, and you can't always detect tone in emails. People can be easily offended, so you want to hold, especially I'm talking about people who are internal people in our district, might want to hold those conversations in person, or certainly on the phone. People can detect your inflection in your voice, know that you're not being mean or trying to talk down to them. They understand that okay, well, he's just telling me this is what it is, and this is what you can do to get yourself ready for next year or whatever the case might be.
Okay. And you don't want to create a paper trail.
Well, I don't care about the paper. If what you're saying to people is right, then it's nothing for someone to come back on you after. You know what I'm saying? So, and we do have to be very, very careful with emails. We use a lot of emails in Richland One, so we have to be very, very careful with emails when we're putting stuff in there that is appropriate, that you're specific to whatever the topic is that you're involved in, whatever it is you're discussing, that is specific to that.
And our last question we have for you today is, what direction do you see Richland One going in for teacher recruitment over the next 5 years? So how would that look in 5 years?
Gosh, I almost don't know, because our teachers are different, and the new teachers we do. One of my staff members would do training on the generations in the workplace, and the generations are different. They think differently about things and about things that matter to them. So some of what we're going to have to do in our schools, we're going to have to make our schools appealing to the generation that we're trying to recruit. And so we're going to have to know some things about the generation. I'm talking about the thing about younger folks. For the most part, we get the folks who are a little more experienced, seasoned. They know about the school system. They know about education. But the younger people, we're going to have to appeal, and even for the recruitment situation, we have to make our schools open and available for them to come in to go through and get a feel for the climate in the school. That's what will sell your school to them. Yes, this is a place I can feel comfortable. This is the place I feel like I can do a really good job as a teacher, or this is not the one. This school here is not quite to my tasting. And it doesn't mean that's anything bad, because it could be a school that's a real warm school. And you can be a person who's not a warm person, and that you don't want that. You want stuff that's structured and kind of by the book. You want that. So we're gonna have to just do our thing as our schools to show our new people who coming in if they're going to be a good fit for that school. And I see more of that happening in our schools as we go through the next, 3, 4, 5 years.
Okay. See, I thought you was gonna say you were gonna do some TikTok videos to get people in to Richland One.
Are you talking about just recruiting strategies? Like, we're gonna have to do that.
No,
stuff too,
I'm
'cause that's
just
what-
kidding.
that's what- but
I'm
really,
just
we're gonna have
messing
to.
with you.
We have, like I said before, we were doing the LinkedIn stuff,
Mhm.
and that was something you wouldn't think about doing before. You know, we
Mhm.
have to
Right.
advertise on Facebook and everywhere, that kind of thing, to get people in, because it's what people look at and what catches their attention. So TikTok is one of them. So I have to have our coordinator to look at what we can do to develop a TikTok video.
Right. Very- Well, I think that is all that we have for you, Dr. Long. Thank you so much for meeting with Michelle and myself. It's been a pleasure hearing you
Great.
talk and answer these questions.
Great. Good luck to you
Thank
all in
you.
your
Thank you.
classes.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank you,
All
right.
Dr. Long. We always talked about you because when we first got hired, we always said, Dr. Long don't play. He give it to you straightforward. So you were the first person we thought about to have this interview with.
Oh,
Mhm.
great. Ladies, y'all have a good afternoon, okay?
You
Thank
too.
you, you
Thank
too.
you.
Now you all know you two, you all can't leave us now.
Oh no, you stuck with
No.
me.
Okay.
You
All right.
stuck with me.
All right.
Because we're gonna see you soon for that next position.
All right. There you go. That's what I like to hear right there. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Good.
Have a good
All
one.
right.
All right. Y'all have a good
Bye-bye.
afternoon.
You
You
too.
too.
Bye bye.